Everyone in, just finding your seats. I'm already appreciating being here in this room. It's a lot stiller, isn't it, on that side? It's actually a bit of a journey from even coming into the centre, and if you notice, it's a bit of a journey. So, sort of outside Roman Road, very busy, noisy, a junction, and then you come into the courtyard, and already there's a few more plants, there's a bit of a waterfall, big red gates, sort of helping you transition. And then you come into the reception. You're still not quite in yet, you've got to take your shoes off, you can give a donation. Some Buddhist books around, but it's still not quite meeting yourself, meeting your mind. And then you come into the lounge, the mural room, and then there's the beautiful image, isn't there, and sort of slightly more stiller, evoking of nature. Yeah, and then finally, the journey nearly ends in here. You come in here and then where it actually ends, though, of course, is you meeting your mind. And the Buddha here represents that. That's what the Buddha represents. It's a metaphor, a symbol, an image of your highest potential, your mind at your highest potential, and that's sort of where the journey ends, you could say. So let's start off by saluting the shrine, and then we'll do some meditation. We'll just do it in call and response. Namo Buddhaya.
Namo Buddhaya.
Namo Dhammaya.
Namo Dhammaya.
Namo Sanghaya.
Namo Sanghaya.
Namo Namah.
Namo
meditation. I mean, you could say as well that this journey is a journey of stillness. So each zone that you come into, you're getting stiller and stiller and stiller, so that you can meet your mind. But I think before we really meet the sort of depths of our mind, there might be some more stilling to do, which is why we'll start with a body scan meditation, just to help us settle into our body and just cultivate that stillness. A still body is a still mind. Come on in, welcome. So I'll just guide us through. We'll start off by closing our eyes. And as soon as we close our eyes, we're confronted with our direct experience, and we can just settle more deeply into that, particularly by taking a few deep breaths. And particularly on the out breath, see if you can find a sense of relief and release. where it's like each breath is calming the body down. Calming the mind. And as you notice the out-breath, perhaps a sense of the body becoming heavy on the mat or the chair. So the ground takes our weight. Just tuning into the natural rhythm of the breath. And we're just scanning the body as we do this for any areas of tension. Starting with the shoulders, allowing the shoulders to fall right back down the back. Noticing them moving with the breath. And releasing on the out-breath. If you're noticing a busy mind, how does that feel in the body? Can you just breathe with that feeling? Let it go. Coming into contact with the belly. Imagining the belly softening. Maybe noticing the belly rising or falling with the breath. Deep down. Becoming aware now of the back, allowing the spine to rise and fall with the breath. The shoulder blades widening and contracting. Loosening any gripping in the hands, tingling perhaps in the fingers. Aware of contact with the sit bones, the floor, the mats, the chair. Just for the last few minutes, tuning into a sense of the whole body breathing. Particularly noticing perhaps the in-breath, any pleasure there, the out-breath, any sense of relief and release. First finding that balance between the in-breath energy rising and the out-breath relaxing, releasing. Finding that balance, energized, calm, samadhi. Just broadening your experience again to include the whole body. Good. So just coming out of the meditation, taking a breather, stretching your legs. Come in, David Mitra. There's a mat and cushion. There's a cushion here, Natalie, if you want, or at the back. Feel free. Good. So yeah, that was very good, very still, and we're going to keep the thread of that going into the next meditation when we do the mindfulness of breathing shortly. But I thought we could focus tonight on trying to work on non-reactivity. So you could say the heart of the Buddhist path is non-reactivity, so that you're facing life, all of life experience, its unsatisfactoriness, its pleasures, its joys, and the skill, the art, if you're trying to move towards, well, as we said, a mind like the Buddha, is to try not to react, which sounds quite good, but also a bit negative. It's not just about not reacting, it's also about being creative with our response. So we don't react to unpleasantness or grabbing after things or whatever it is, but instead we have a creative response in our mind, and that helps us to become absorbed if we can do that. I've just come off a solitary retreat. I was on retreat for a couple of weeks at Vidrasana, and my main practice really was just sitting there. I had nothing else to do. I was in this tiny cabin, just with my mind. There's all these thoughts coming up. I work for the LBC, so there's some property thoughts, but then some thoughts about arguments I've had, and should I have asked that girl out or not, or what should I say to that person, or just like feeling. Sometimes I felt like, when you're on an aeroplane and you just feel really uncomfortable and you can't get off, but you want to get off. It's that feeling. And other times it's very joyous, and I think the times when it was most joyous is when I just was like, I'm just gonna, whatever happens, I'm not going to react, and instead I'm just going to bring my awareness to the sensations, to the experience, and trust that actually by doing that there is actually some greater meaning and joy and pleasure there than even my wildest fantasy or that whatever was going on in my head because often that's we think, don't we, that if we just get that thing that we want, or if our boss finally does the thing we want them to do, or our housemate finally clears up after themselves, or whatever it is, we think that's where the happiness is. But actually there is a greater, deeper happiness just ready there for us, just within. And if we don't react to that, to our experience, and that's the sort of belief, the faith that we need, as well. Yeah, and that's part of the creativity as well, having that faith to do that. It's a bit like before I went on my solitary, I went to Sea Lanes. Has anyone been there? Canary Wharf have opened up this section where you can go swimming in one of the wharfs outside. It was one of the hottest days of the year, which was quite nice. But when we got there's lots of people who were just very scared of jumping in, including myself, because the water's freezing actually, even on the hottest day. It's quite strange as well, because you were sort of swimming outdoors but with loads of skyscrapers around you. Very strange experience. It's not like being in nature. It's just anyway. But that point is that we're all a bit like that, aren't we? We're a bit sort of scared. If it's going to be uncomfortable, we're sort of scared to jump in. But of course, I was hot. It was the hottest day of the year, and what I really needed was just to jump in and get over that initial shock almost of the cold water. And I did see an old lady like jumping in and doing it before me, and thought, well, if she can do it, I can definitely do it. So that was, sometimes we need inspiration, don't we? Anyway, so I remember sort of going down the ramp and getting in there. It was absolutely freezing at the beginning, and it was, I was scared there was some, like, because he's swimming outside, or maybe going to hit a line bike underneath the water, or sort of there's some debris floating around, or even a dead body, I don't know, underneath. But anyway, when I got over my fear and just swam, it was wonderful. Just such a relief and release to be in the water, and let sort of overcome the fear almost, actually, and just relax into it. And it was really enjoyable, and it was very embodying as well by the end of it, and I just felt refreshed and rejuvenated. So of course that's partly due to the swimming, but I think we can apply that metaphor to meditation as well. Sometimes, even if it feels really uncomfortable, and that's probably the least thing we want to do is jump into that experience. Actually, if you just do it, have the faith that it'll be okay. Maybe other people have gone before you to do it, and just become aware of even the fears, or the pains, as well as the joys, or everything going on in the body. If we can just really step into that, there is relief and release there, and it is not only pleasurable but meaningful as well when we do that, because we're finally letting go of all that hankering after everything else, and our hatreds and all the negativity that we add to ourselves and the world. We're letting go of that, and we're coming into contact with who we really are, and what the world's really for. You could say a deeper mind, a deeper consciousness. So it is actually moving as well. A week into my solitary, that's what I had this sense of. Once I had calmed down, I had this sense of the sacred, the universe. When you meditate, it's like the universe responds somehow. The sun even went darker one day and everything. But it was just this sense of, I did feel like I was definitely more in touch with nature and the universe around. It was really incredible. Anyway, good. So maybe I've said enough there, because partly we just need to do it ourselves, in a sense. Just need to meditate, not react, come into contact with our experience, and then see if we can feel the relief and the release of doing that, of taking the plunge for ourselves. Okay, good. So let's give it a go. So I'll just guide us in a little bit at the beginning, then I'll leave us to it and just ring bells for the stages. We'll meditate all the way up to the tea break. So that's half an hour. So just pacing ourselves, committing to the practice, getting in contact with our faith and our resolve. We can do it. And if we get stuck, there is help. We don't have to do it on our own. Just allowing the ground to take our weight. And in your own way, tuning into the breath. And just coming into contact with any tension in the body. Just bringing the breath to that. And allowing it to release and be relieved of any tension on the out breath. And tuning into any pleasure that's there as we start to deepen our consciousness. Sense of natural ease and pleasure. Comes from not reacting and being aware. Allowing it to spread through the body like a fountain upwelling within us, a fountain of absorption. Mindfulness of breathing. starting to relax any effort that you're making, but continuing to sit still. Just sitting. Good, so before we have another meditation to end the evening, we'll have a tea break. And after that, I'll see you back in here. turn the aircon down a bit. I mean, up. Yes, I have turned the aircon off actually, so it should warm up all our bodies. They're not, they're downstairs. I think we've got a spare blanket. Yeah.
I can give this one.
Okay.
You had like 4 of these.
Okay. It will warm up. When you meditate, actually, it said that you produce heat. So Milarepa survived in the mountains of Tibet. Anyway. Okay. Okay, so talking about meditation, what we'll do is we'll do a shorter meditation now just to help us settle again, and then say a bit, and then we'll meditate, and then we'll end with a short ritual, a mantra as well to end the evening, and I'll say a bit more about that as we go. Just closing our eyes, taking a few deeper breaths. And just allowing ourselves to breathe naturally. Tuning into a sense of the body, the temperature, allowing what's there to be there. Softening the face and the brow. Releasing the shoulders. And just in your own way, following the breath. expanding your awareness to include the whole body. Having a sense of other people in the room. Sending them some metta, receiving some metta. And when you're ready, opening your eyes. Good. So what we'll do to end the evening, because really this evening is about, as I was saying, working on our mind, trying to move from reactivity to creativity, and it's we can do that tonight. It's also a lifetime's work as well. I mean, our mind is just made to react, and that's often survival terms. That's helpful. We need to react to get food, to survive in life and do lots of things, but if we want a deeper mind, a deeper consciousness, the mind that's truly real, you could say you want to be in touch with reality, then we have to sort of notice that the reactions aren't helping us to do that. The reactions are actually making it worse, more painful. I don't know if you've had that experience. As I said, on the solitary, it was you could, or on any retreat really, you can just see the folly really of spending time in, I don't know, craving, for example. I don't know if you've had that experience where you've noticed for like 15 minutes or 20 minutes you've just sat in some cycles of craving, like really wanting that thing, or I wish I had that thing, and it'd be really good. And I can give you some examples from my mind, but I'm sure you've got your own examples as well. Think about, and what's underneath that for me anyway. I mean, the examples could be anything. Sometimes, I often fantasize about buying a car, but not just any car, like a really nice car, because it's somehow a nice car. At first, it just feels like a pleasurable fantasy. But if I look underneath it, there's some different like layers there. Like I'm imagining other people seeing me in a nice car, right? Yeah. So it's not just about the car anymore. It's not about getting from A to B. It's about something else. Like I can imagine if I'm in a nice car and people see me, then they'll like me, and they'll want to be with me, or or somehow I've made it in life. If I've got, if my car says BMW on the front, I've somehow made it. Do you know what I mean? This is confessional as well, and I'm sort of exposing myself. But you'll have your own sort of version of that, and then there's deeper layers. Actually, underneath that layer, I found that I was just a bit restless and anxious, and wanted to get away from myself. So that's why I was thinking about a car. But of course, a car isn't going to give me any of those things. Yeah, nobody really cares what car you've got, or it's not going to, and it's definitely not going to, on a deeper level, help me with my restlessness or my anxiety, or it was a rumination coming out of a sense of being restless and anxious. So I had to get down to that layer and realise that's what was fueling this rumination. And that's where the reactivity was coming from. I was reacting against my own anxiety and restlessness. So all I did was bring awareness to that, and it's like the body just floods with a stillness when I did that, and metta was there as well, positivity and relief and release. And it's like, it's a relief, isn't it? Not because a rumination's a lot of work, a lot of energy goes into ruminating, and it's tiring actually. And it was very relaxing and a relief just to let go of all that rumination. and get the train home from retreat in the end, because that's fine. Do you know what I mean? It was interesting anyway, that cycle. But as I say, you'll have your own version of that, probably, or some sort of ruminative place or habit that you go to, and it's just noticing that, and particularly noticing what's underneath. And instead of what you then do once you noticed it is you what we call go for refuge. So we go towards something which will actually help. So your fantasy, I'm afraid, even though it might be pleasurable to drive a nice car or to get what you want, for some time it won't give you everything that you want, definitely. Well, it's not a true refuge. But we say that by having the example of the Buddha and practicing the Dharma, being on the path of truth, practicing the teachings and being in the spiritual community, they're more real. They are real. They're the real things you need to be having at the centre of your life. That's what going for refuge is. And I really like that language. Actually, I really feel that a relief that there is actually a refuge in the world, because when I don't know about you, but when you watch the news, or sometimes you think, I get into a bit of hopelessness or something about about life. So having the sense there is a real refuge, there is something real that will actually work and help, is a relief, actually, and something worth living for. Something meaningful, something you can give your life to, or I've given my life to, which is also very which I also appreciate, and I'm sure others do. Yeah, and you've got to work out what that looks like for you as well. What can you give your life to that is actually real and meaningful and does actually work? What's the real refuge for you, if you see what I mean? If it's not those ones, but I'm sure whatever it is for you, they will align with those things, because these are universal images. It's like the Buddha is a universal image for your own potential. The Dharma is reality, so that's a universal image, and the spiritual community is people that are doing that. So so you're having that in mind, and the reason why I'm saying that is because meditation is not just it's not just a technique. It's sort of based on this whole belief system as well of as I say, of there is something more to the mind, and a mystery to the mind, and a refuge. Yeah. So with that in mind, what we'll do is we'll meditate again for about 15 minutes, and then we'll end. Ollie will start us in the Shakyamuni mantra. It's the mantra of the Buddha, so it's the sound syllable of the sound. It's like the sound symbol of the Buddha, you could say. So it's like we're evoking whatever the Buddha sounds like. That's what the mantra is evoking. So the mantra, it's just the Buddha's name. So that's what you're saying, really. But as I say, what it's doing is evoking this atmosphere, like I was saying in the tea break, the conditions, the atmosphere for depth, for deeper consciousness, that's what the mantra does. It creates this atmosphere. It also, it's also a guard against rumination, because if you're saying the mantra, then you're not in rumination, you're not in the hindrances, you're not in craving, you're instead in a different sort of consciousness. So you can think of a mantra either as the atmosphere of going for refuge, of reality, which can be quite moving, or just like a guard against unskillful mental states. And it can be also, as I say, very beautiful. When we're doing the mantra, you can just, if you haven't done it before, you can just listen if you want, or you can try to join in. And if you're joining in, you're doing the mantra and you're also listening for others doing the mantra as well. So it creates a harmony. So it's like it's an individual practice. It's like you have to choose to do it or not. It's up to you. But then if we're all doing that, it becomes more than the sum of its parts. You see what I mean? And part of that as well, so there's the sound, there's the mind, your mind doing it, there's the sound, and then there's the body as well. So if you want to use your body as part of the ritual, you can come up and make an offering. That's what that's about, which is you just light a tea light. And you're lighting a light, you could say, to your highest potential, to the Buddha. And obviously the symbol of light is an obvious symbol, isn't it? The world needs more light. And so you could say you're offering light to the world. And your life, and do that. If you've not done it before, you can just watch other people and do it if you want, or you can just sit and watch as well. It's up to you. But yeah, it's just and then we've got that image. Then for the rest of the week, we'll have that image of of what's real, what's really important with us. So take it into the week, so that when we come back next week and the week after, it keeps us going. Keeps it in a sense. It keeps it keeps these conditions of the ritual will then support us in our lives. And I'm running out of voice, so it's a good time to stop. Okay, good. So let's meditate. So we'll do the mindfulness of breathing, but I'll just ring a bell, one bell at the beginning and one bell at the end, so you can do it in your own time. Or if you're quite absorbed, you can move to the third stage. If you're distracted, which is completely understandable, you stay a bit longer in the first two stages. You move as fast or slow as you need to move. The mindfulness of breathing. If you notice any ruminations, just feeling under them. How does it feel in the body? Letting go of any reactivity. Looking for a sense of tranquility.
Shakyamuni Swaha. Om Muni Muni Mahamuni 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 Shakyamuni Swaha.
So that brings us to the end of the evening. All that's left to say is, thank you for coming, and thank you for any donations that you've given us or want to give us on the way out. All that's left to say is, hope you have a good week and your practice goes deep. And see you next week. Thanks for coming. If you wouldn't mind, just let's stay in silence in here until we're in the cloakroom. And if you wouldn't mind just putting your mats and cushions at the side, that'd be great. Thank you.